Hello everyone! Welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be going over my October purchases and empties. So I will be talking about everything that I bought in the month of October, as well as everything that I finished, if I like them or not, if I would repurchase them. We're just going to go over all of it. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet. I would love it if you stuck around. But with all that, let's just get into it. All right, so fun fact, I already filmed this video, but I didn't press record. So this is take two. Hopefully that means I'll be a little bit less chatty in the second take because I'll be able to get more to the point. But if you're new to these videos of mine, I like to go over my purchases and empties for every single month because I am trying to be a little bit more mindful with my purchases. And I also like just talking about my empties because it motivates me to get through my backups and backups of mainly skincare that I have. So that's why I just combine them into one video. So I separate this video into 3 different parts. I will have timestamps listed down below, as well as all the makeup that I'm wearing today. But the first part are products that I purchased that maybe didn't get to me in the month that I purchased them. I do place a lot of my orders online, so maybe I ordered something in September, but it didn't actually physically get to me until October. That's gonna be part 1. Part 2 is going to be all the empties, everything that I finished. And then part 3 will be things that I actually purchased in the month of October and came to me in the month of October. So starting with the first category, things that I purchased and just got to me, I did end up buying the Charlotte Tilbury holiday palette. Blanked on the name for a little bit. This is the Instant Look in a palette, and I did purchase the lighter one. I kind of wanted both. Wanted the lighter one and the darker one, but I resisted and only purchased the lighter one. I loved it when Charlotte Tilbury used to come out with these palettes. I own, I think, 2 of them, and they're really great. The reason why I ended up going with just the lighter one and not both is 1, because they're expensive, and 2, because I could actually see myself traveling with this palette. It's a little bit more all-inclusive. So these lighter shades are definitely something I would wear when I was traveling, being a little bit lazy. And then this palette has an actual face powder. Excuse me, I'm stumbling over my words here. And I believe that the darker one doesn't have the face powder. So that really was a make or break for me. It has a finishing powder, it has a bronzer, it has a matte blush, and then it has a glowy blush, but I do think that it's light enough you could use it as a highlight. So this is really great. I will definitely be bringing this with me when I go traveling, and all I need to bring is like some base products and I'll be set. So very happy about this. Like I said, really glad that Charlotte Tilbury is starting to come out with these palettes again, and I hope she continues to do them. That's the only product that I have for part 1, though. Now we're going to go over all of my empties. Not too many empties to talk about, but some exciting empties. I'm just going to talk about the biggest, bulkiest one here. It is a lotion. It's the Petit Marseilles, and it is a hydrating cream in the scent Almond. Love the scent Almond in body care. It just smells like so soft. I don't know. I really love it. This was nice and hydrating. I just picked it up at like the French version of a Walmart. So just the supermarket here. And it was really, I have no complaints. I'm finally at the point where my lotion category is 0. I have no backups. So once I got low on this, I did purchase a new lotion, which you would have seen in my last purchases and empties. And now I'm finally using that one, and I finally finished this one up. So really happy with my progress on some of my categories. I've probably been doing this series for 2 years, maybe even 3, especially my empties. And I've finally gotten to the point where some of my categories, I'm at a one-on-one trade-in. Like I don't buy a new one until I'm working through the current one. So it just feels really good to finally be in that spot. for some categories. So I'm at that point with lotion. I'm also at the point with sunscreen. So I finished off a sunscreen. This is the Haru Wonder Black Rice Moisture Airy Fit Daily Sunscreen. Talked about this multiple times. It is my holy grail sunscreen. I get this from Yes Style, which is the only downside because it is a Korean sunscreen. Ordering from Yes Style can take some time. So once I opened this one up from my stash, I did order 2 of them, which again, I talked about my purchases and empties from last month or the month before, and finally finished this. So I cracked open into my new one, but I still have one in backup. And once I open that one, I'll order 2 again. It's just something that I'm not ordering one backup at a time when I crack open into it, because it takes a while for it to come. Like I think it takes over a month, and it's just easier to buy 2. But to be honest, this is like $10. So it's not a very expensive sunscreen, and it's just great. I use it in the morning as my moisturizer. It's a little bit more of a matte finish. I have no complaints, which is why it's, out of all the sunscreens that I've tried and tested, my absolute favorite. Doesn't break me out. Hands down, it's just the best. I have some other skincare to talk about, and then we'll go into like the makeup. So I have just like a little mini deluxe sample of the IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Cleanser. I got this for free from something. IT Cosmetics does a lot of free samples for this line, and I don't really love it. I haven't liked anything from the Confidence line from IT Cosmetics, so I used it up, but I'm not impressed. It doesn't do bad things to my skin, or I wouldn't use it, but I just don't love it. I especially don't love the moisturizer. I dislike that a lot more than the cleanser, but it is what it is. It's out of my collection. I also have this Differin Gel. So this is a adipolene gel, 0.1%. I saw Erin Taylor talk about this in one of her videos. I'll link her channel down below, and she really, really loved it. So I decided to give it a chance. Now, I can't purchase this in France here. I had to purchase it at Ulta and then have a family member bring it when they came to visit. So I finally went through one, and I do have a second one because when I purchased it, I think it was buy one, get one 50% off. I just don't think I'm the target audience for this. I don't suffer too much from frequent breakouts. I do break out now and again, you know, like I have a blemish here, but really acne is not something I would say I really pay attention to. And I think this product's just not for me. I believe that Erin Taylor has more acne prone skin, so maybe that's why she likes this. I would love to hear people's opinions down below on adipolene, because I think it's like a new trendy skincare ingredient that I've heard a lot of people talking about recently when I had already finished this. So yeah, I'm really just interested to see other people's thoughts on this, but I have a whole other tube to use, and I will use it. I don't think that it's doing any harm to my skin. You do only want to use a little bit. At first I was using too much and it was really drying, but I just don't think that it's something my skin necessarily needs. My skin definitely prefers more of a vitamin C serum or a lactic acid. I really like more of those chemical exfoliants to keep my skin just kind of, you know, refreshing, shedding. I don't know the best way to say that, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like shedding the old skin and having new fresh skin is what my skin needs, not necessarily something that's going to prevent breakouts. Then I have a few more makeup-y products. I have 2 little mini primers, a lot of minis, but trying to get through my collection, and I try to alternate between full sizes and mini sizes to just keep the motivation going. This is the Becca Skin Love Brighten and Blur Primer. I had this in my deck of panning video, and my goal was to finish them off, so I did. I'll link my deck of panning video up above, and you can't get these anymore. It was a nice primer, but mainly I'm just excited to have 2 less primers in my primer category. Primer is something that is the first category. I'm really focusing on trying to get those numbers down, because I really don't need maximum 5 primers. Like really 3 would be ideal, but I think I'm going to cut myself off at 5, and I definitely have like in the 20-ish range. So it's just nice to get those numbers down, and I'm really focusing on trying to knock them out one by one and get that category down. And then eventually I'll focus on another category, like probably setting sprays, I think. Next empty is just a little mini mascara. This is the Clinique High Impact Mascara in black. I've had this as a sample before. It is a good mascara if you want just kind of a little bit something on your lashes. I wouldn't say it's very volumizing. I wouldn't say it's very lengthening. It's really just going to give you a natural lash, kind of like I have now. I'm not wearing it today, but kind of like what I have now. I just don't think that it's high impact. I will say you can use it upon application. I don't love a super wet mascara, and this is a good consistency for me right off the bat. Once I open it, it's nice. It's just not outstanding. And for like a mid-tier brand, I wouldn't pay whatever this is for the full size. I would assume like in the $20 range. Like I would be more inclined to recommend a drugstore mascara over this. And then my last and most exciting empty is a fragrance. This is only 1 ounce. It's not like a 3-ounce giant bottle, but I'm still really happy that I finished this fragrance. It's the Valentino Voce Viva fragrance, and I really, really like it. It doesn't have a lot of staying power. It's kind of just like your typical designer fragrance, but I love Valentino as a brand. I love their bottles. I love to collect the perfume bottles, which is why, as you can see, I have more than enough fragrance, but I also need to use the fragrance and empty them out. So I have been pulling fragrance into my project pan. I will also link that video up above, and it's nice to just have one that's empty on my display now. I will continue to keep this and display it, but remember my time with it fondly. I find it a little bit ordinary. I don't know. I feel like it's a fragrance you could just get anywhere, meaning ordinary. I'm just thesaurussing my words here, but yeah, it's nothing special. I bought it because of the brand, and I really just love Valentino as a brand. But those are all of my empties that I had for the month. Not too many, but I'm proud of the empties that I have. I try not to force anything. Like, I'm not trying to finish things up faster. It's just nice to talk about them and be realistic with people on what you go through in a month. But now let's talk about what I actually purchased in the month of October, because I did make quite a big purchase. I did only make one purchase, but it was a big purchase, and I made a purchase through Monolith. So Monolith is a third-party retailer who kind of provides indie brands for Europe, because if I order from Bella Beaute Bar, for example, and I have them shipped to France, I have to pay customs and duties on that. I know that's a new thing for the USA, and you guys are just learning about customs and duties and stuff, but for the rest of the world, like, this has been a thing. And a $50 palette could cost me $100 once I pay for shipping, once I pay for duties and all that. So instead, you pay a little bit more through Monolith to kind of account, but they're buying in bulk, and they can kind of take away a little bit of that cost. So I did make quite a large order. I ordered 6 palettes, but they were all palettes that I've really been wanting. So I don't know. I'm on the fence on how I feel about it, but I'm very excited to go over these with you. And I do actually have a Monolith story at the end of this. 3 of these palettes are from Bella Beaute Bar, so we're going to go over those last. And the first one we're going to talk about is the Magnetic Mineralia palette from Dieverune Cosmetics. I hope I'm saying that right. This is a collaboration palette, and I haven't tried anything from Dieverune, so this is going to be my first Dieverune palette. I saw this and knew that it was going to be my first palette from them. I've kind of had them on my list to try for a while. I love the desaturation. I love the color story. To me, this is like comfortable color for me as someone who maybe leans more into neutrals. This is like dipping my toes into color and experimenting with color without it being like too much. So I did decide to get this one, and I'm excited to use it. I mean, I'm excited to use all of these. I did give these thought, so I don't want to say that they were impulsive purchases, but did I need 6 palettes at one time? Probably not. The next one that I purchased is from Glaminatrix. It's the Crown Legacy palette, and this was a collaboration with Monolith, but I believe that you can purchase it from the Glaminatrix website, or now Glaminatrix also has like a USA retailer that they can ship to. So here is what this one looks like. Similar but different to the Dieverune. You can still see definitely my vibe in here, this desaturation, this neutralness, but color with this palette. I think this palette's actually a little bit more colorful than the Dieverune with these purples here, but to me, purple and green still teeters in that neutral category, to be honest. I love Glaminatrix. I would say I pick up like 90% of their palettes. This one was one I was really excited to have. I did not purchase the Bonfire palette. I don't know if I'm going to. I want to say that I'm not going to, but there could be a time where I purchase a palette from them, from their website directly, and just add the Bonfire on because I'm a little bit of a collectionist at heart with them. I don't want to be, but realistically, I just am. And then the third palette I purchased is from Gourmande Girls. This is the Mocha Moment. I wanted this. The second was released. I've really been holding out on this palette. I love the Pantone Color of the Year this year. I think they really nailed it. And again, similar vibes here, right? We're getting that desaturation. We're getting that neutralness in a palette with a little bit of color. This is the most neutral of the three that I've talked about, but I knew I had to have this palette the second that it was shown. It's been out for a while, so I did resist. Like I said, it wasn't an impulsive purchase, but since I was making a purchase, I decided to grab it as well while I was getting some of these other palettes. So those were three from different brands, and then the other three are all from Bella Beaute Bar because I do love them, and they had recently released some that I had wanted, so I kind of just bulk ordered from them. I do have an affiliate code with Bella Beaute Bar. It's just Melissa if you want to save directly from their website. But like I said, for me personally, it just doesn't make sense because I would just end up paying more even with a discount code, anyone's discount code. So the first one I got is the Unoriginal Nudes. I mean, they launched this right after I had made a Bella Beaute Bar purchase. I think I purchased the Green Goddess and the Smoky Glam palette, and then they just released this one and I was a little bit disappointed I didn't add that onto my purchase, but I finally have my hands on it. The theming on this, everything on this, it's so good. I will say I wish it was a little bit smaller. Like I just prefer more smaller palettes, like if it was a 12 pan or just one less row, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, that's still 12. But if this was a 12 pan palette, it would be a little bit better for me, or a 15 pan palette, I guess. And this, it was a little bit darker than I was expecting from the photos. Like these two bottom rows, the mattes are a little bit darker, but if it's anything like other Bella Beaute Bar mattes, they are sheer but buildable and they will blend really nicely. So I have no doubts that I will have a really good time with this palette. And it's on the top of my list to try. Out of these 6, I would say this is number 2 to try. Mocha Moment might be my number 1 that I want to try, followed by this one. The next one I got is Coalscence, the collaboration with Nupur. I think Nupur is so creative with all of her makeup looks. I really love watching everything she does with her makeup. So I did want to pick this one up, but I also just love the color story. If I didn't like the color story, I wouldn't have picked it up. It just happens to be from a great collaborator, in my opinion. I know that in a lot of her videos, she's shown how these shades can stack on top of each other and really shift and transform. So I need to do a little bit more research with that and just look into it more when I'm playing with this palette, but I can see a lot of creative looks with this. Definitely more on the colorful side, but this is colorful that I can deal with. I just don't love like super rainbow palettes, like those bright primary colors. When it has a little bit of this moody vibe to it, I can't resist it. I can't resist it. And Bella Beaute Bar just has the best shimmers ever. So very excited about this one. And then the last one that I purchased was a Bella Beaute Bar palette that I've had on my list for a while now. This is not a new palette whatsoever, but I didn't pick up because I knew I didn't like need it. But this is like the Bonfire with Glaminatrix. I kind of just was like, when in Rome, and bought it. It's the Ultraviolet palette. This was in collaboration with Deandra Nicole, and it is a purple palette. Now here's where my story with Monolith comes in, because I got this palette, and if you notice, there's a shade missing here, which is weird, right? Like it wasn't a broken shade, it's just fully missing the pan. So I reached out to Monolith and I have yet to get a reply. And I talked about this in my first video, how I was like, I should really follow up with them. And so while I took a break after being upset that I didn't press record on my video and filmed an entire video and wasted my time, it's not really that big of a deal. Shit happens, right? I decided that I looked to see when I had emailed them because I was like, am I misremembering? Has it not been that long? Did I email them yesterday? Because to me, I think like 3 business days is reasonable for a response. 72 hours, right? It had been 72 business hours. So I decided instead, like, okay, let me just really quickly, while I'm taking my break, before I refilm this, let me reach out to the Bella Beaute bar site directly and just see if I can purchase this shade. I didn't even need like a free shade. I was willing to purchase it. I just want this palette to be complete. Like that's what I'm thinking, right? So I reached out to her and within 5 minutes she responded and said she's going to ship me the shade. So my story is I will probably from now on, if I can, as much as I can, just support the at least Bella Beaute bar, support them directly, even if that means that I have to wait a little bit longer. I am fortunate where I have a lot of family that lives in the States. I can send them things. I try not to overwhelm them with things. And I have someone somewhere is going to come visit us pretty frequently here, so they can bring it to me when they come over. Even though it means I'm going to have to wait longer for a palette, it's not as new. Maybe I can't do a video as quickly as I would want to. I feel like the customer service is worth it because it means a lot to me for a brand to just say, hey, no problem. I'm so sorry about that. I'll send you the shade for free. And like, honestly, like I would have no problem, no resentment if I was to purchase the shade on its own. It was not her problem. It was Monolith's problem. And they didn't respond to me, which kind of feels a little sucky to me. It's only been 3 days, 3 business days, but we'll see if they do. But as of now, they haven't. So I don't know. I just wanted to share a little bit of customer service story with me. If that means that like I have to wait a little bit longer for different brands, I will do that because Glaminatrix, I can technically purchase from the Glaminatrix website directly. And I don't know if I think it's about the same if I order from them because they include taxes and duties in their palettes. So yeah, there's the few odd palettes here and there like Gourmande Girls that I might purchase from Monolith, but as of right now, like I don't know. It wasn't so bad where I'm just calling the company off completely, but it does kind of just like rub me the wrong way. Anyways, enough of that. Those are all of my purchases and empties for the month of October. I would love to hear your thoughts down below. Are you trying to get through all of your backups and kind of take a new stance like I am, where you have one in, one out, and not have like 17 different lotions floating around? Or do you like that? Some people like that. They like having different scents open at one time. I personally am just kind of over that a little bit. I'm tired of having so much stuff all the time everywhere. At the same time, I still purchase 6 palettes. So like, you know, you give some and you take some in. I don't know. I don't know what that saying is, but hopefully you get what I'm trying to say. Anyways, this is where I'm going to leave you all. I hope you're having a great one, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.